All right, guys, welcome back from the break. Thanks for waiting. It's been a couple of minutes since we last did the WGK reviews, but welcome back to the second half of the Wednesday night broadcast. You're still at the 2021 Ego Congress, and this is day five. We're fastly approaching the midpoint of the week now. But we still have a bit more games to be played at the moment. We have decided to debut a brand new challenge we have for everyone. Also for Ryan, also for me, because we've never really produced such a session before that's so dynamic and so on the spot.
I made Steven stick with me so that I'm not just commentating alone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Right. So what's going to happen now is we're going to do a very special format, and we've found a few viewers during the break. So right now we're going to start with not Princess, Prince Lena. And then I believe it's St. Patrick 4989. So if you're still around after the first game, please reach out to us and we'll set up the game there. But for now, we're gonna play Prince Lena to begin with, and they're also known as Red Real IC on the OGS. That's why you see their name up there. And Ryan is gonna play as Black. So he's gonna play out a very random opening, which I'll determine in a few minutes, and he's going to play with 30.5 Comey. Now I know that Red Horizon is actually quite a strong player, so he's a top amateur in his own right. So this is gonna be, I like it. It's gonna be very violent. I feel like you have to really like actually try to kill something to make this work, because usually when you have 30.5 Comey, then there needs to be some kind of death on the board. Anyway, so we did have a list of random openings, and I'm just gonna explain to people really quickly what each of them are, and then I'm gonna pull up a random number generator. So number 0 is the start point and the 3-4 point enclosure. So it's gonna be one of the start points in the corner, and then another 3-4 large Shimari. And then number 1, we have Senrensei, which is of course debuted by Takumi Yamasaki, the famous Takumi Yamasaki. That's going to be very influence based, and as we know, that's going to be 3 start points in a row. And number 2, we have Kobayashi from the famous Kobayashi Koichi 9-Dan Pro, and it's a very balanced opening, which you'll see in a bit. Number 3 is Chinese, so either low Chinese or high Chinese, and this is one of the most popular Yuseki patterns you'll see anywhere. Number 4 is mini Chinese opening. Mini Chinese opening is typically on the bottom side. So you have like a stone on the 3-4, and then a start point approach stone, and then something in the middle. Number 5 is the sacrilegious. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it was at a time. The Go Seigen opening, the 3-3 and 4-4 and Tengen opening, and this was very famously played in the 1933 game between Go Seigen, 9-Dan professional, also probably known as one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. Most people would agree that he is, against the most respected player of that era, Honinbo Shusai. So that's number 5. Number 6, we have some tricky setup that is going to be the double 3-5, and that's it's gonna be very interesting. Number 7, I think you just played this recently in one of your latest videos, double 4-5, and that's going to be very interesting as well. It's going to be a very much of an influence based opening. So you're giving away corner territory to your opponent super easily. And last but not least, we have the double 4-6, and I don't. It's a good quiz to test all of you which pro came up with this initially, but it's Gan Siyang, 4-Dan professional. When he was very young, I think about like 15 years ago, he already started playing this kind of dual 4-6 opening to throw his opponents off, and that worked out great. So in fact, he's developed a reputation just for this. So anyway, we're gonna choose from one out of these openings, and I'm gonna pull up a random number generator. So as I do that, Ryan, do you really have a personal favorite out of all these, and or does it just not matter to you?
Well, you say my opponent's actually a very strong player, so I'm actually a little worried right now. I'm
No, this is
hoping
good.
not 5-8 because I generally made them for kind of for fun and to sort of like a test, which are not meant to be played against other strong players. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping for 0-4.
All right. Here comes the moment of truth. Ah, it's a 7.
What is it? What is 7 again? Oh, it's
A
high.
7.
Ooh.
That's dual. Let me check really quickly. I believe it's dual a double 4-5. Yes. That's the one you
Okay,
did.
okay. Well, double 4-5 it is.
And you're playing with a 30.5 Comey, so no pressure, and you're up against an AGA, a fellow AGA 6.3 Don, I believe. So yeah, no, this will be very exciting. So Ryan is really gonna go all out. He's gonna try everything to kill one of Red Rice's groups. So without further ado, onegaishimasu.
Very quick double star points.
Yep.
Honestly, I've always had no idea what to do with these.
I should explain to people that the time settings are 5 minutes each, 5 minutes a piece, and I believe you set up 5 30-second BOME periods. But I have reason to believe that it can be really chaotic once you get to the end. So I'm glad that this is happening at the moment. So there you go. As from the results of the random number generator, Ryan has elected to play the double 4-5. But maybe tell us a little bit about this opening and what people should watch out for when they play. Well, either when they play this opening or when they see this opening in their games.
Yeah, that's it's a good thing to talk about. So these we call like the 3-4 point kind of like a small eye, right? The 4-5, someone would say high eye. It's typically very influential, not very territorial based. It's actually very tricky. A lot of people like to play the large knights move when white makes this R16 approach. So that actually gets quite tricky. Really, what to watch out for? Well, watch out for that trick move, because when your opponent plays the large knights move, you gotta be prepared for big fights coming up.
Oh wait, which large knights move?
Q13. So like for the top right corner, when white approaches, when white approaches at R16.
Aha.
Black just plays Q13. I saw that a lot. A lot of people try to trick me with that, and I got tricked a lot with that. When I was
you didn't. I thought you would do it to your opponent in this game though.
But I personally don't really like that. Don't really like that.
You wanted to win fair and square. Got it.
So the reason why I don't play that kind of tricks is because if your opponent knows what they're doing, it's just generally bad for you. I don't like to advocate that kind of trick moves.
Right.
So like when I play like a tricky Joseki, it usually is so that it turns out okay for me, even if I fail to trick my opponent.
Yeah, and I remember you talking about this last year at the one of your lectures, right? You're actually showing us some trick moves, but you're really going for all of the trick moves that would bode well, even if they are
exactly
diffused.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because sometimes you could really like trick someone to a really good outcome for you, but then if they just avoid that kind of trap, then it turns out that stone is usually because it's usually like weirdly placed, right? It's just gonna be kind of awkward if your opponent dodges the trap that you try to set up.
Right. Then it would turn out very bad for you. Yeah. Very risky.
They are, yeah.
But also,
fun.
like, if you do a lot of trick moves and
Yeah.
get better, then you can't do them anymore because better players are gonna know about them, right? You can't keep doing the same tricks when you get better. You're gonna have to change those.
Yeah, so this is why sometimes I think that there are good things about being an amateur player as well.
Steven, have you done trick moves to your opponent before?
No, I've never done it. No.
No.
Okay, I should not lie on stream. So, you know, I'm not that big into like complicated trick moves because I also like simplicity. So I'm not one to really go into like all of the, let's say, 3-4 tensor variations because I would also be confused by them. As you can tell, my reading is not that great. But no, I've done a
I
few.
can't tell.
Like there are a few things okay, they're not really trick moves, right? But they come out of like normal positions. For example, when I evade someone's start point with a 3-3, right? I would always try to like in the top left corner, I would always try to push along at E17, right? And then they would Hane at F17, and then they'll Hane again, and then they would Tanuki, right? And then I would always cut. I would always cut at F16.
Okay.
Just to make things complicated. But it's obviously it's not an unorthodox like trick move, but it's just something that's more complicated, and sometimes people get it right, sometimes they don't. But yeah, it's just one of these things. Like, you know, like with AIs, obviously pros would know about these opening moves, and they're very experienced in that department. In fact, they would even memorize long sequences of just full board openings. But in the amateur game, sometimes you can get someone with a move that's not often played, and the win rate could be really different in human versus human games.
Yeah.
Even if the AI gives the same percentages. So that's been fun for me.
Yeah. I don't really look much at AI actually. As much as I don't like to admit that, but I barely know any AI openings. I think it's actually not that important, even for pros. At least not like top pros, because most of the game isn't really decided in the opening. And when you follow AI moves, chances are you don't know what you're doing. So basically, you're on the same grounds as your opponent, right? But if you do like a opening that you're familiar with, at least you've got that edge, right? You know that opening a lot. You play it a lot, or you study it a lot. So I'm not a big fan of like AI like openings. Of course, like we play AI moves because we understand some of them. At least we think we understand some of them. Who knows if we actually do? But we think we understand some AI moves, so we use them in our games. But it's actually very dangerous to play like AI openings, I think.
Right.
It's definitely like unless you really study it and you do a lot of those variations, I personally don't really recommend it.
So you would say that's more important especially for most of our viewers here, to pick something that they are familiar with, right? They're comfortable with. For example, like if you're a territorial player, you should probably not pick something that's influential, even if it gives you a higher percentage. Would you say that that's important when you?
Yes, that's a very important point, and also like that's part of the reason why I did this sort of challenge is because like I want to promote the older openings, right? We've been studying them for thousands of years, almost, right? And there's a reason why. Like, there's a lot to understand within that. It actually improves our whole knowledge base of the game. And I think that's very important.
Indeed. Yeah.
So,
all right.
I've never played this before, actually.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about that position in the bottom right there.
So I believe white is supposed to cut this first and then extend. So I've never seen that Hane before. So I was a little bit surprised about that.
That outside Hane, right?
Yeah, the outside Hane.
Oh, 07.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to trick you.
Yeah, maybe because I don't know about AI variations. Maybe I hope I didn't get tricked there. It looks okay though for black because I still got the right side. It's I don't think it's not clear what white gained. Okay, white gained some influence, which is okay. Yeah, territory versus influence, typical game here. 30 points though. Where am I going to get 30 points? That we will have to see. Yeah. So I realized that you guys can't see my mouse, so I will try to say the coordinates when I refer to them.
Yes. So actually, this will be similar to what you do on your channel, right? Because when you're playing in real time, then it's hard for you to play other variations. So you have to kind of describe them instead in real time.
Yeah, kill all the things. What? How? So actually, I'm not a very aggressive player. I'm more of like a self-defense player, I would say. So this is a lot to ask for.
Yeah. So far, I don't really see where the where the
Yeah.
extra 30 points are coming from, but
they're
you never know. You never know. You must.
They're really good at defending.
Yeah.
What do I do? Yeah. Well. Yeah, especially with these like AI-like variations, everyone just knows exactly what to do. Like they're just so simple, right? There's nowhere to make mistakes even.
And so far, it's
So White made a slight mistake.
Disappointingly peaceful so far.
Yeah, White made a slight mistake here. White should have connected.
At E17, right?
The shape here is incorrect. So White should have connected at E17 instead of this variation here. So White shape is a little bit awkward.
Now we're gonna fight. Maybe.
Yeah. So normally I would probably just cut. I'm actually really tempted to cut. I guess I have to extend. Oh man.
Oh, I would have cut in a heartbeat.
Really? But I think White's just gonna ladder.
Yeah.
I wanted to cut. I wanted to cut, honestly.
Cut first, think later. This is what Twitch style is all about. Yeah, I mean, actually, Ryan, you have been streaming on Twitch lately, haven't you?
I have a few times, yeah. Just trying it out. Yeah.
How has that experience been? Have you realized
really
that
hard? Like I have to it's so hard to focus on like all these things at the same time. Like right now, like we're chatting, and I'm still trying to get used to that. But like having like also like a Twitch chat right on the side, you just have to look at so many things. I don't know how you do it. I just don't know how people do it. It's so hard.
Yeah, no, it's like playing a simul.
Yeah, it's like I'm so used to just like staring at one board, and I'm just thinking about the positions, right? But
but no one wants to no one wants to see that. They want to see you like go wild and like jump up from the chair like when you're almost about to kill someone.
Yeah. I've had some trouble with that, but I think it's been a lot of fun. Like I get to talk to people when I play, and did you know like Twitch chat is always 9p? Because like whenever I commentate or when I'm streaming, there's always someone who's just like, yeah, obviously you play there, and then I'm just like, whoa, I didn't even see that move. Like how do people just like, oh no, you just go there? Oh, okay, well you must be a lot better than I am because I didn't see that.
So maybe the well, actually we're having the pro exams next month, so maybe the 6th pro North American pro is going to come from the Twitch chat. Some random person who just lurks around and tells all our pro commentators that they should have done this instead. All right. Actually, it's 10 o'clock now, so I should just briefly interrupt with a quick announcement. We do have a live event going on right now. There is a special event hosted by Myeongju University from in Korea, and as you know, they have a they do have a department of biological studies, which means that you can major in Go. In fact, in college, I bet most of you thought that was impossible, but apparently it is. So we do have a very special program given by Professor Daniela Trinks, and that's happening right now. If you want to go check that out right away, you can click on the Zoom link that we have posted underneath the video player in the info panel. So just a quick announcement for folks that might be interested. And if you do participate in the online quiz, you can potentially win a review by one of our 3 Myungji University pros. And that's going to be very exciting because that will be Saturday night, and it'll be plenty of fun. And I'm sure that kind of opportunity will be very, very special for all of you here. So anyway, keep an eye on Daniela's talk, and I hope that a lot of you will learn more about their fantastic programs. And I want to thank the university for sponsoring some of our events this year as well. All right, we're back to the game. So I see that both of you are already approaching Byoyomi, and things are escalating rapidly here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Well, I haven't seen anywhere close to the 30 points yet, so still a long way to go. Oh, I see a comment by Andy. Wow, I haven't
Yes.
I haven't seen in such a long time. Yeah, the little one's good. Little one's good.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I
less
didn't say that on stream, but congratulations.
yeah, I mean, we talked before, but
Yeah.
it's less less sleepless nights, getting more sleep, slowly getting more sleep. Yes, Andy the Magic Man is in the chat.
Yes. I used to watch his videos on YouTube when I grew up as a kid. And this is absolutely true story. I used to, when I was like 7 or 8, I used to spend the entire afternoon watching trick shots. It was a good time. It's a good time for me. Yeah, so good to see you, Andy, in chat, and of course, keep the comments coming, and hopefully everyone's enjoying the session so far. And it's always nice to have live interaction with our Twitch audience. So yeah, great stuff going on indeed. Okay, let's see. Okay, so White's alive.
Yeah. I have to keep the aggression. I think that's the hardest part about like teaching games in general. It's
Yeah.
I have to be overly aggressive, which is something that I'm not used to. Like I usually like to try and get my opponent to start the fights, but now I'm constantly the one playing overplays to continue fighting.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on your personality or style of play. If you wake up and choose violence every day, then it's probably
I
natural.
used to be like that. I used to fight all the time. Yeah, but after I became pro, there's a lot less of that happening. It's kind of strange, actually. Just all of a sudden, start playing.
Yeah, you're there's probably I can imagine that there's a lot of joy in playing calmly and feeling like in control, and just holding on to a steady lead until the very end of the game as well. I would imagine that you would feel very good about that kind of win. I mean, as much as slaying a dragon.
I learned a lot about endgame after I became pro, so maybe that's part of the reason. I played a lot of like endgames, like exercise, like whole board endgames. I guess it wasn't really a big thing before I became pro, but then when I became pro, I kept losing games to people, and I just didn't have a chance. And that feeling is terrible. I hate losing the game when you had no chances. It was just solid. It's just a solid loss, and it's really hard to do that. Yeah, so that's why I learned endgame.
Yeah, it does become very important, I suppose, when you get to the high dons, right? Because then those 1 or 2 points actually do matter, and you have to compete for those as well. But I see so far your plan's working out. You're playing very aggressively, and
Well, I wouldn't say it's working out, but it's going. I'm still trying. I haven't lost. I don't know about working out though. Well, we'll see. Okay, well, let's see if I can attach and cut. It looks like there's a weakness here.
Aggression.
Yes, we gotta keep the aggression.
Yes, be aggressive. Just like Twitch chat says, and to give them their money. Oh, well, I say that, but it didn't pay to watch the stream. But yeah, but you should give them what they want to see, And we have a live audience here, and they want to see something die, and that is all we're here to witness.
Yeah, well, that is exactly what I'm doing. We just don't know how it'll end. Yeah. So I didn't. So usually when pros lose a game, they usually don't review all the time, especially for like such an important match like the M Lily Cup. So we didn't review like right after the game, but I did have a lot of contact with him afterwards, and it's just like when pros lose a game, you just don't want to talk to them because we are like.
I mean, you can tell they're probably pretty upset.
Games.
Yeah.
But generally, like afterwards, it's fine. We had a lot of conversations afterwards, and I also reviewed that game a lot because a lot of my friends were sending me like. So at that time was really interesting because, like Elf Open Go kind of was getting developed, and I had a friend who was one of the developers. So they sent me they were like, "Oh, send me your games. I'm going to analyze them with Elf." So like at that time, AIs weren't really like that widespread. So but like at that time, I had access to like all these AI variations, and then I realized that I was like basically losing the whole game until like my opponent made that one mistake. But generally, I did well because I was like staying in the game, which is not an
easy like you held down to his coattails, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to do that against 9Ps. But yeah, it was I still can't believe I played that well during that game.
It was amazing to see for all of us as well. For those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, it's actually in response to one question from the Twitch chat, which is what was Chen Yaoye like when you guys reviewed your famous win over him? And that, just to provide you guys with a bit more context, Ryan beat Chen Yaoye 9-dan professional, and he was already a world champion at the time in the Emily Cup in 2017, and so that is still remembered as one of the best wins of any North American player over anyone, really. So obviously a good memory for you, I think.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was. Oh, I'm running out of time. I just was listening.
Oh, yes.
I was too busy talking. I'm about to run out of time. So I did cut off this group.
Right.
But it looks like the left group is alive for sure. Don't see any way I can threaten that one. But maybe the 3 stones and the 2 stones. So a lot of uncertainty still in this game.
Yeah, I think you can tell that White's being cautious, so they're fixing every group that they have.
I'm gonna have to get a lot from this fight in the middle. But the board is very big, and it doesn't seem like White has any big territories yet. And I would say I'm probably ahead by like 15 points right now. Like just
well, not counting the Komi, right?
Yes, not counting the Komi, of course. I need to be ahead by 30. I guess I have a few options here. I could. The problem with my game now is like when I see just a good variation, I just I kind of just stop and go with it. I don't know. If this was like before I became pro, I probably just Atari on the bottom without a heartbeat. But now it's like it's hard for me to get away from these thoughts.
Yeah, like because when you become a pro, every Kifu you leave is gonna matter.
Yeah,
That's what they tell you, right? You're professionals now, and every game that you play gonna be part of your legacy.
it could be part of your shame. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, with amateur players, you only have that baggage. But of course, you're also a lot stronger, so you're less likely to.
Steven, do you have a favorite player that you like to follow?
My favorite player, Calvin Sun. No, no, that was no. I'm kidding. It's a running joke that we have for this year's Congress, because when Eric was asked the same question yesterday, he said Calvin Sun immediately.
Okay.
Without hesitation. But no, I like Calvin because particularly we're born on the same day, the year.
Oh.
Not in the same year, but we share the same birthday. So that's cool. And also he's a very likable dude. So I like Calvin a lot. Let's see. Any player you have to be more specific, like any modern player or any player like in history. I guess in history, obviously I'm a big admirer of Go Sagan, and that's probably the same for a lot of people, and just the way his ideas were just the way his ideas were so special in his age, like when they came up with all this Shinfisaki's theory in the 1930s, I believe. It still blows my mind, because some of his ideas I think are still being proved by AIs.
He pretty much invented modern opening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and imagine doing that in a time where there's not a lot of resources available, and of course, like the Go landscape was much different back then. I don't think information was quite as openly distributed as it is now. And I think in the olden days you still had these schools, right? These are very exclusive entities that would come up with their own unique special moves. So it's very hard to exchange ideas with people at that time, I would imagine. But yeah, just the way he was coming up with all that new stuff, it's just really impressive, and I played out his game records when I was a kid, and that's partially how I had a lasting interest in the game. So I would say if it's any player in history, I would obviously say Go Sagan is one of the best. And if I were to pick anyone modern, that would be Lee Sedol, because I think he was really determined about like leaving his own mark in the history of Go, and so he really tried to follow through with his own style, and he's obviously created a lot of magical moments for all of us to witness. There are a few to mention, for example, like the ladder game, and obviously the AlphaGo matches.
The ladder game was like one of the games when I played when I was a kid. I was like, this guy is insane, and I followed his game since.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and I think he did that in the Blitz game too. So he didn't have a lot of time to work with. So yeah, it's just really amazing the talent he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if we're going with anyone that's even closer to the modern era, that'll be Calvin Sun. Okay, so let's see. We're in the mid game now, and I did see some fighting take place, but it does seem like White survived temporarily.
Yeah, because I was paying because your talk about Gosekin and Lisudo was so interesting. I made a mistake here.
Oh
The
no, sorry.
white peeped at D7, and I didn't realize that I had that weakness, so I had to go with something else, very temporarily. So it's not looking super good. Let's see if we have a Tsuji here. Do we have a Tsuji here?
Oh,
Come
I
on,
think I
Sumego
know which one
F4,
you're.
help me.
I think I know which one you're looking at. But yeah, the YouTube audience will be very mad at me when they see this on YouTube. But no, it's different. It's different, you know, when you do a live stream and when you record a video, obviously, you probably won't record like an hour-long video. You're probably trying to condense that information, but yeah, but the live stream is all different. You're trying to interact with the live audience, and
Tough game.
it's different.
I thought I had a 15-point lead, but that's probably all gone now because I lost this groove on the left. The 3 stones at C10. So it's looking pretty tough right now.
Oh, this seems tricky. I can. Oh, is there
Looking at
something
this
there?
I don't know. Maybe. uh.
Oh, I like the way this is going.
Unfortunately, I don't have any co-threads.
Yeah, I'd say that it's really hard to kill a group in general. When you get to the high level,
It is very complicated now. You know, trying to read this as best as I can.
it used to be so much easier when I was a Q player and I was just playing Sensei all day long, and I was just waiting for people to jump in so that I could be one-up Takamiya and kill other people's dragons. But it doesn't have any more now.
Okay. So it looks like he's just reading now. Okay. Yeah, this result is pretty good for white, so it doesn't make sense for white to play too harshly in this case. So now I really have to work hard for this.
Yeah, still looking for your first kill.
Where can I make more territory?
Oh, there's a
Oh,
time
I don't think
Suji.
I don't think that's Sente though.
Oh, is it not?
It's locally Sente, but I don't have to respond right now.
Ooh.
I'm gonna look for some stuff. So I'm gonna Hane here first to see.
All right, here it comes. Here it comes.
We'll see how this goes. So we're gonna Hane here first and
Yeah.
see what they do about that. You know, keeping the game more complicated. It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And
you're obviously one of the pros, very well known for this kind of complicated fighting.
Am I?
I think Pavel will be another one of them.
Oh,
his name did come up earlier in chat. Of course, I'm talking about Pavel Lisi, 2-dan pro from Slovakia, also former European champion. But yeah, it does seem like we're in the code now.
So yeah, trying to keep the game more complicated. So there is a lot to this ko. It actually has a little bit to do with the bottom left corner, just a little bit. Oh, so that's probably not a good ko threat though. So I've already benefited from starting this ko. So now I'm gonna Hane here, and looks like
Yeah.
at least I have something to go on. Because right now, White can't really give this up easily. So they played this move very quickly, so they must have something in their bag. Ooh, okay. Okay. I like what I'm seeing. A very strong player.
What do you think White's aiming for with that Hane at P10?
Yeah, this P10 Hane is a very good move. It makes it so that it's difficult for Black to continue because Black can't cut at Q10. So yeah, that move wouldn't work. So this is interesting.
Seems like a lot of stone wrestling.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
what I call stone wrestling in the middle of the board here. Normally this is
Whoa, okay.
Oh.
So when you don't know what to do, you just take the points. And that's what White's doing right now. Difficult game. I'm gonna have to do something to this middle group because now I've also lost the top left corner. So it's really looking very strange. And I got, okay, so I have some periods left. I'm trying to think about what to do on the right side. Oh God. Oh.
Oh, he's going for blood.
Yeah, so the 30 seconds is not that much time, but I think the 30 seconds probably works better for me because fast games usually the stronger player has a slight advantage. Yeah, so right now we're gonna enter a life and death situation very soon. But it's probably not that hard for White to make this group alive. And unfortunately, White is actually all connected in the middle as well. So there isn't even a weak group for Black to attack.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when White's probably gonna connect now, and
Yeah.
that doesn't seem very killable.
Not very killable.
So we can try, of course, but
Okay. Yep, so pretty much all White needs to do is make this alive. White has the top left. Black is still leading in territory, but just barely.
Oh, he's a sudden death now. That could change things.
Oh. Yeah, so basically White just has to make this right group alive. Doesn't yeah, like you said, it doesn't look like a very difficult thing to do.
I've seen some funny things happen before with this kind of time setting.
Yeah, so I'm really impressed by how White handled this whole middle fight. They're definitely a very strong fighter, especially like some of these moves. Like they just especially like d7, and they also just gave up the right stones at the right time. I just had nothing to really go about. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like.
I also gotta save these three. I can't let these three just die. Uh.
Yep, hitting all the spots.
So now that that's alive, I'm gonna have to decide what to do with the rest of the board. So let's keep the game complicated. It's my like go-to strategy when I'm behind.
Yeah, this could be a point swing if Black manages to win the ko, and things could be different.
Oh. Huh. Do I have something to go on here? Wait, also, my opponent actually knows what I'm thinking about. So basically, I should not talk about what I'm gonna do.
I mean, you haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
Stream sniped.
We'll see how this goes. This is gonna be interesting because right now I'm threatening this weakness, and basically I can't let white make any other eyes in this right side. If white connects, then I have to play S12. And your expression tells me you're really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Well, I told you before the game. Oh.
This is getting more and more interesting.
Oh, I'm actually on the edge of my seat now. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. That's.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
Now this is something I completely didn't read out.
Yeah, you need some co-threats, it looks like.
Huh. So I completely didn't expect that my opponent's gonna fight this code with me. Okay, well I'm gonna have to find some threats here. Yeah, I need a little bit of help here. So this is definitely a co-threat. And I guess this doesn't really lose points because chances are I'm not gonna push anyway, since white's Atari at E13 is also Sente. So I think this is a good threat. So I know white's gonna play the peep at N11, so I need another one right after this. So I gotta think about that one. Oh, okay. So they captured. That means I have a automatic one here. Yeah.
It's also tricky for white because white has to find co-threats and related to the area, right? Because if you play somewhere else, then you could just
Mm-hmm.
door.
Right.
And,
Right. Exactly. Lots going on here. The board is still really messy, even though white is clearly ahead. But there's still a lot to do, and it's not easy to do those things. So it's still very unclear. Anything could happen. So my goal is just to force white to play S12 right now.
So if white plays S12, then white, I guess white will live, right? But
But white would have lost points with this exchange because the center now black could capture. Oh, that's a mistake. So the descent is not really a co-threat in this case. So I think that could change a lot of things. Maybe the time factor is finally kicking in. Yeah, when the game is messy, you know, anything could happen, right? So the main benefit of this here is that when white captures at p15 now, it's not Sente, right? So now white has to worry about the life and death situation. The life and death situation is much more severe because now black already has, oh. Huh.
that's
Looks like my opponent started with an unnecessary move, but then they didn't come back. Like starting the ko is probably not a good idea to begin with, but white should have just protected at S12. Like white's not going to force black to connect and then live. I think that's too wishful. So now, since this group is locally dead, white still hasn't connected, so it's even harder for white to live locally.
I'm just in awe at the moment.
Steven is dumbfounded.
Yeah. Well, of course, I was thinking thoughts in my head, but I didn't want to say them out loud because
it's a very rare situation. Wait, this also looks like a mistake. Because after I capture, this group is a lot stronger. So the chances of white living is actually even lower. Not to mention that now it's actually an eye in ko, right? Because, well, first of all, if white connects, then yeah, probably they would connect. But right now the corner is very, very strong.
So you mean that like even though black has captured the two white stones in the top right corner, just getting that extra R14 move is going to matter, right?
Right.
Black wins.
Oh, okay. So it looks like my opponent was down there. So I guess it really was the end there, right?
Really.
Yeah. Good game. I think he's definitely a strong. I hope it's a he. Definitely strong player. Redro Icy. Especially like I'm really impressed by how they've handled. Well, I didn't handle this very well, but they dealt with my misplay very well, and I tried to get something back, but failed. Really has to be, maybe this move is a bit greedy. Like this middle is not the most important place right now. It's actually the bottom. So white should capture first to make sure that okay, you don't see my review, but so
right. Maybe you could start a review, and maybe our line producer Eva-Dee could switch us over to the review screen. Just need to start. You can just click from the right side of the menu and start a new
review started.
And maybe in the meantime we can go over some of the variations we didn't have time to go over.
Yeah, so basically white was leading until the really end, until this N14 move.
Oh, 1 second. Do we have the review board ready? Double check really quickly.
Yeah, so it was all N14. So N14 was a bit greedy.
Okay.
And white really needed to either abandon it or do something with it. So white either needs to block and then, try to live by connecting and then do something up top, or just abandon it and live. Or just actually just pretend it's dead. Yeah, so this part was really great. White should have just captured, because connecting this is very important, especially because black took the ko. Yeah, and black didn't really want to enclose to this anyway at 013 because white can still go in. So that was the main mistake. Yeah. So I guess Biyoyomi is a little bit hard for the viewers, but we want the game to,
Right.
we want to get multiple games in. So yeah,
I mean,
but
come on, like
generally
they also get reverse Komi, so I think it's only fair.
Yeah.